Hola a todos, bienvenidos a Spanish by Andrico. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about subject pronouns, right? One of the most basic areas of Spanish that most persons need to understand completely before starting other aspects or starting to learn other aspects of Spanish. This part we have to get it clear. So first and foremost, let's talk about some very basic stuff. For example, a pronoun. We all know, or most of us know, or we should know that it is a word that replaces a noun in a sentence, right? Basic stuff. We're starting from there. So then, the subject of a sentence refers to the person or thing that performs the action of the verb, right? So now let's talk about what is a subject pronoun. Therefore, from knowing those two definitions. So a subject pronoun is often used to replace this person or thing in a subsequent sentence to avoid repetition. So you don't want to keep saying John rides his bike, da 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 da. So we replace it with he instead in the subsequent sentence, in the following sentence, right? So stuff like that. So now, some very important aspects to observe when it comes on to subject pronouns include the person, which is the first, second, or third person, right? The gender, masculine or feminine, and the number, if it's singular or plural, if it's one thing or it's more than one thing. Oh, and also the formality, if it's informal or formal. Informal in the term in sense of you're very familiar with the person, you know the person, you're close, right? Or you're the same age, etc. Formal meaning you don't know the person, they're older than you, or you're just you're having respect for the person, basically. All right, so let's start with yo, the yo form. The yo form is I in English. So in Spanish it's yo. In English, I. And this is the first person singular, which means it's a male or a female. It can be either one. So I am Andrika. I'm a girl. Right? So that one is pretty clear cut, straightforward. So let's get to the other one, which is the to form, which means you. And this is the second person singular, can be a male or a female. And it's very informal, like you too, right? It's informal in Spanish. Next one is el, which is he, and it's third person singular. So, as I was saying before, instead of saying John rides his bike, you can say he rides his bike, right? And it's masculine. It's always masculine. So, remember that, guys, always masculine. And we have in contrast ella, which is she, third person singular as well. This is a feminine word, right? Always feminine. So you have one for masculine, el, and this one is for feminine, she. Okay, let's go over to usted. Usted is formal, or in other words, it's polite. So this is for persons who you don't know. They're older than you. You are showing respect. It's your teacher that you're talking to. You can't say tú, because tú is more familiar. You know the person. You're the same age. And usted is for either male or a female. So please remember that, guys. Notice the second person, the second persons, like those that area right there. Please focus on them, the two, usted, and the rest that you'll see. Notice that it's either formal or informal, so you have to pay close attention to that, because that's how most Spanish persons distinguish, like who you're talking to, what words you use to refer to different persons, whether you know them or not. And now we have the nosotros form. Nosotros is we, right? In English, it's we. And it's first person because you are involved. You're included in that we, right? It's plural. It can refer to all males or a group of both female and males. So for example, even though it's as basic as this, persons really get confused. So there's someone out there who this will help. Nosotros, we. The one with the O, nosotros, we. If you have a group of let's say 19 males and one female, it's nosotros because it's a group of both gender, even though it's one person. Vice versa, if it's a group of 19 females and one male, it's nosotros, as long as there's a mixture of genders. If it's all male, it's nosotros, right? So just bear that in mind, guys. In for nosotras now, which is we as well, nosotras, this is all female. Now, no matter if you have one male in the group, it doesn't matter. That is different, nosotros. This, if you have all females, it will always be nosotras. Never ever change. Never ever. Only for females. And it's first person plural. Now, we have vosotros. This is an aspect of the video that I believe you have to really focus, because here words such as vosotros, it's not found in all countries. Not all Spanish speaking countries use vosotros, right? It's more common in Spain, and so you have to bear that in mind, because if you're in Latin America, you might not hear that as much unless, well, it's a Spain person that lives in Latin America that still uses it, okay? Vosotros means you all. It's second person plural. All male or a group of both male and female, right? So here it's more informal in terms of you know the persons, or you're speaking to a general group of persons that you're addressing, right? It's not polite. It's not formal, right? So now you have vosotras, you all as well, second person plural, but this time all female. Notice that the change with OS and AS. So if you have OS, it's a mixture of both genders. If you have, or just male. And if you have AS, it's only females. And it's also informal. So now, let's go to vos. This one is very special, to be quite honest, because not a lot of countries use it. Not a lot. Lots of countries use it. It's a bit more informal. It's like to, because it's second person and it's singular. You have various countries that use vos instead of to, and you have some that don't use it at all. But one thing that I will point out is that you can't always say that some countries don't use it at all, because remember that language is a thing that has variations within even a country itself. So you have parts of a country that might use it, but in the general sense that most of the population don't really use it. So it's male or female. You can use it for males or females, and it's second person singular. So here I've added a note just to make it clear. In a general sense, remember that this is general. So note that vos has similar characteristics as to. Vos is used instead of to in some countries such as Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. Other countries use both pronouns such as Bolivia, Guatemala, Chile, Honduras, and El Salvador. In a general sense, remember I said that. So don't quote me, don't say, oh, these are the strict countries, because there might be variations within the country itself. Similarly, in countries such as Spain, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic, you will more than likely only hear to. Again, there might be variations. So for example, I did a little research, and for example, in Mexico, I believe that there is a particular area that uses vos. I don't remember the word exactly. Don't remember the place exactly, but it's just to give an example of variations, because certain areas such as rural areas, they might use it more than the urban areas, right? So that's just a little fact right there to let you guys know. So moving on with ellos, they, third person plural. It can be all males, as I've said before, or a group of both female and males. That one is pretty straightforward, so not much explanation there. Ellas, they, third person plural, all female. Same thing I've said before, once it's as as, it's all females, okay? Now we have ustedes. Ustedes can be formal or informal. So in the case of Latin America, it can be used in both sense, formal or informal. But in Spain, it's more formal because they use vosotros, you all, instead of ustedes. And ustedes is second person plural, can be all male or a group of both female and males. So a bit of a recap, just to make it a bit clearer, because some persons like to see things in the form of a table, etc. So we have singular, plural. This is just a recap. In English, the first person for singular, it would be I. Plural, we. Second person, you. Plural, you. Same thing. Third person, he, she, it. Plural, they. However, in Spanish, we see that singular for first person, it's yo. Plural, nosotros or nosotras. Second person, tú, which is more familiar, that you know the person, you're friends, you're close. Vos, it's a little bit more familiar than tú. In terms of you're really close, you can trust the person and all that. Usted is polite and it's not informal. It's very formal. You use this in formal contexts or persons who you don't know, who you've just met, older than you, persons who you're giving respect to. The plural form for the second person in Spanish is vosotras, vosotros, or vosotras. And you also have ustedes. Third person, singular, él or ella. Plural, ellos, ellas. Basically, that was just a really quick video to help you guys with subject pronouns. I hope that it really helps, because there are lots of persons out there who these basic things needs to be addressed. So I hope you guys liked the video. Remember to like and comment if there's anything that you understood, anything that you learned, anything that you need further explanation, just all that. So remember to subscribe as well and just turn on your post notifications in case you want to have updates of when I post new videos and stuff like that. So remember to live, love, and breathe Spanish, guys. See you next time in my next video. Ciao.